present a video and then read basically their bio, and they're going to come up and accept an award. So first up, our first Special Achievement Award winner, Greg Bicouvaris. We're going to play that video about Greg.
Greg has meant the world to me. We've known each other for just so long, and I'm used to hearing him in some form just about every week on the air. And we've enjoyed working with each other for a long time. I've gotten to see some of the greatest athletes in Peninsula history here, and some of that has just been because I've been on broadcast with him and Nate Milton and some of the great young Newport News students that they have instructed. And I really hope this program will continue. And people can learn a lot from Greg, preparing for a broadcast and how he knows the names beforehand. And kids, they can listen to the director. And the other thing is, if you're a fan and you're watching a game on, say, Fox or CBS, you might not know Greg, but what you're seeing, a lot of it is a result of what he is doing. He's telling the announcers when to go to a commercial break. He's saying which bits of information on the athlete should come up. He just does a lot of things that maybe the general public wouldn't know until he's on the air, and then you can just hear his incredible enthusiasm for athletics, especially in high school and college. And I hope he can continue doing that for a long, long time. And congratulations to Greg on being inducted into the Athletic Hall of Fame in the Lower Virginia Peninsula.
A few notes about Greg: born and raised in Newport News, a graduate of Ferguson High School and George Mason University, play-by-play and color commentary for 13 different sports on numerous TV and radio stations, including being the voice of Newport News Public Schools on TV and online since 1991. They do a great job, seriously, up there. They really do. Always say that in the office. He's also been a broadcasting, collegiate, and a professional sporting events since 1986. Greg spent time as a network television stage manager at sporting events involving the NFL, college football, college basketball for CBS, Fox, ABC, and ESPN, among others. Key events that he's worked: the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournaments, NFL regular season and playoff games, college football games, and Major League Baseball's All-Star Game. He has worked with some of the biggest names in sports broadcasting, and his signature talk shows, Sports Highlights and Sports Scene, have been staples on Hampton Roads community television, radio, and online since the early 1990s. His company, GJB Productions and Marketing, has produced multiple sporting events on TV and radio and hundreds of commercials on linear and digital media in Hampton Roads throughout the Mid-Atlantic states since they began in the 1980s. Greg is also the co-founder of the Hampton Roads Sports Media Hall of Fame. Greg, happy to have you here. Come and accept this award. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure and honor to be here at the home of Boo Williams. And, without the good Lord, none of us would be here, so I got to give faith to him and everybody that's here, as well as City Council, Congressman Scott, and all the recipients, past, present, and those for the future. I want to thank all my family and friends for being here at my church, as well, and everybody here that's supporting all 8 of us here tonight. My dad always said one thing: consistency, evolve, get into a routine. My mom, who was an educator at the former Jeff Davis Middle School, Bethel High School, always told me at a young age to be proactive, get involved, and make a difference. But I'll say this: even though I grew up in Newport News and I went to Ferguson High School, this is the Lower Virginia Peninsula, and I started my career at George Mason. My first on-air radio station was right down the street on Michigan Drive at WTJC with Eric Reynolds. My first time on TV here locally, I was started on TV in Northern Virginia in '87, but '88 was with the Hampton City Schools. I've been with Newport News, like Craig said, since 1991. Also want to thank the board and the commission for working tirelessly to making this wonderful event happen and the wonderful food. Quick story about a lesson my dad taught me when I was a kid. My dad was a big Ohio State fan. In fact, Sean Gale and Jimmy Gale that played for Bethel used to come to my house, and of course my mom taught both of them. And Woody Hayes would walk the hallways of Bethel High School right here in Hampton. Fast forward to 1986, my dad's mother was there, his two sisters who grew up there were all in Columbus. And my dad said, you know what, let's look up Woody Hayes' address in the phone book. Back then, it was listed in the phone book. I said, sure, Dad, we can ride by there, just you and I will look at the house. Great. No, son, let's go by and get a plan, and I want you to put the plan on his doorstep. I said, okay, Dad, we're stretching it a little bit here. This is Woody Hayes, who comes to Ohio State against Michigan and has won championships. Take it a step further, son. I want you to knock at the door and give him the plant. I said, okay, Dad, you're gonna come up there with me? He says, no, I'll wait in the car and see the answer to the door. Make a long story short, Woody Hayes answered the door. We had a camera with us. This was June of '86. Woody Hayes passed away in March of '87. Make a better story even further, he invited us inside the house for 2 hours. It was the most emotional time my dad and I had together as a teenager, meeting his football idol, Woody Hayes. It's all about timing, and my dad was teaching me a lesson. Don't sit around, make an effort, matched energy, and good things will happen. And really, you know, all of it goes to faith, being in the right place at the right time, and that's pretty much it. You know, when I was in college, it was all about opportunities. Sometimes where there's not an opportunity, I took a step and created an opportunity. Nobody's just gonna give you an opportunity. Sometimes we have to create the opportunity. Last thing, I was doing an internship at WCBS. 1987 was a radio station. I walked up to the upstairs floor where CBS Sports were and said, oh, I'd like to work some Redskins games in the fall. And that's how it all started. Pretty much one air here locally in Hampton, Newport News, throughout the Hampton Roads area, behind the scenes. And really, we can't do nothing by ourselves. It's people. We win with people. None of us are an island here. We all work together, and I can't call a game. A lot of people I've interviewed in this room here tonight, whether it's sports or non-sports related, I call Antoine Buffet's games, and of course, Karen Barefoot as well. But I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Thank you to all the other inductees. It's a pure privilege and pleasure. Thank you.
Going back to my time here, Greg's always been super gracious with me, man, so I appreciate you. Next up, everybody knows this man, James Pooh Johnson. Please direct your attention to the video screen.